Alright, hello. This is the, I would say, prototype episode of the channel. Usually we're going to review art and comic book art and discuss it, but in order to test out the microphone and some audio stuff, I'm going to be doing a solo episode of some pickups I got yesterday. I'll usually be joined by one or two other hosts, but today it's just me. So first, we're going to start off with this book, or I guess book format, but magazine called Vantage Comic and Card Picks. It's like I don't know if I'd say it's a knockoff Wizard, but it essentially does everything the Wizard magazine does, which details comic book news and kind of gives what's happening in the industry. What's different about this one, though, is it talks about the trading card market and kind of the values of the cards and what cards to look out for and card news. And this is issue number 1, which came out in May '95. And one of the sole reasons I bought this was for this random Miller cover, which I wonder how much they paid him to do. And this is actually not even like the cover. It's a flip cover. The real cover's this like really boring X-Men cover, which is not even a full X-Men thing. So we'll get started on some of the notable stuff in it and see how it goes. So like first page, like a Magic the Gathering new set ad, which is pretty cool to see. I'm a Magic the Gathering player, so seeing all this kind of like old advertisement from way back when, it's pretty cool. I need to look up how the Ice Age set went, because that sounds cool. I wonder if it had mammoths. And it's a black and white zine, besides like the cover, and I think the cover and this are the only things in color. So, like, you can pause and see what they got right here for content. And I read some of it. It's pretty interesting. And when I was doing a little bit of research on this before this video, I think they went up to 15 issues, but I'm not sure. I couldn't really find anything, not even a Wikipedia page, but I did see on the Walmart apps that are selling number 15 for like $300 or something. So it went on for something. Tale of the Time, Gen 13 number 1, talking about all the different variant covers for Gen 13, which now I kind of want to track down, because I didn't know there was that many, and if they have art by like Art Adams over it, that'd be pretty cool to see. You know, growing up, Gen 13 was always called a stroke book, so I don't know how my wife's going to feel about me getting Caitlin Fairchild 13 times, because I bet some of those covers are a little raunchy. You know, and we got Byrne confirmed to do Wonder Woman. That's cool. Get some Byrne effect action. Trying to think what X-Files comic. I think what Topps did that. I think talking about how Marvel's. Let me go back. Kind of changing how they distribute some of their books, and even talking about how kind of distribution's changing. Diamond postpones trade show. I wonder if that was a big thing when that happened. I need to do some more research on that. But we're getting to the point where retailers are starting to change, and I wonder how much longer until retailers start to see kind of the bubble pop of speculators. Malibu pulls out a Wizard. Speaking of this being a Wizard bootleg, they talked about how apparently Wizard kind of put Malibu in a critical lighting, so Malibu just won't ever really talk to Wizard again. And then they talk about, this is post Malibu getting bought by Marvel, and in this they wonder if Marvel and Malibu are going to start like their own Wizard version, that way they don't have a situation like this again. Which, I wonder if that went anywhere. That'd be a cool little deep dive. You know, because, you know, Wizard lasted a little bit, but eventually died. So I wonder if this Marvel thing kind of started and then died once, you know, the bubble popped. Oh, Neil Adams. Oh, and then another Magic thing. They're talking about how If you buy the Magic comic books, they're releasing cards from the new set that hasn't been released yet at the time, and they're talking about all the drama with that. How they're not rares, they're just commons. So I bet that still pissed off people. I bet there was one random ass card that made it, unplayable. Judge Dredd movie looks really good. He is the law. And then Tank Girl movie looks not so good. Poor Tank Girl. So, yeah. This was a little cool section, also Batman Forever features Robin. Oh, Two-Face. Great soundtrack, though. All this cool stuff. I do actually love, advertisement stuff like this. Like, if Wizards were a little bit cheaper to get, I'd probably stockpile Wizards. I just love getting these kind of slices of time in comics and just reading all up on them. I know why people love Wizard, but when I go to a shop, I don't want to pay $10 for a random Wizard. I don't feel like that's right. I feel like Wizard should be in the $1 to, at the most, $5 bin. Like, $5 is pushing it, and I probably still want to get them for $5. They'd have to be less. Frank Miller Prophet cover. And here we get to, the card game, or I guess just card stuff, which we won't really look at too much, because why would we? There's not really a whole lot of interesting. But look, issue 1 and they're already doing t-shirts. I wonder where stuff like that went. I wonder if, there's someone with just a whole box of them somewhere. Just, in the back of a closet. I wouldn't mind getting something like that. Look, here's some Magic cards. I don't know if those are for the upcoming set or if those are cards you should get. Because as someone who plays Magic, this one's just a generic card and I can't even read what that one is. And then toy picks, like Toy Fair. But I don't really know, is that a Gambit figure, maybe? What is this, some X-Men stuff? I don't know, I didn't read that part. One very interesting. And then some ads and interview with Ringo, which I didn't really care to read. I probably should. I should have, or at least not said I didn't care to read. And then the only 2 pages that are right side if you were reading it from this Frank Miller cover. I wonder if Frank did this specifically or if someone looked at a sketchbook, found this, and just paid him to use it. Because I don't know if I'm Frank in, 95, if I'm going to be just drawing for a random, zine. But there's Vantage, Comic and Card Picks #1. I wonder how the other 14 are. And there's also a number 0 special Halloween edition, which, of course, there's a number 0, which came out in October. So that's a big jump from October to May without really anything. I wonder what happened there, or if they were just building a staff or something. But there's that. Next book, I got all these books at the same flea market, or I guess antique mall, however you want to say it. And I got them. I'm going to show you 3 books. I got all 3 of them for $10. Here's probably my favorite pickup I got, reprint of Prince Valiant, which I've been wanting to check out Prince Valiant because I've been trying to study black and white books, specifically Sin City, and to see another person's approach to print, black and white, which being Hal Foster's Prince Valiant. Pretty amazing to see. Him fighting a giant sea crocodile is pretty amazing. And I'm definitely going to take notes. And probably buy a second copy so I can write in it on what works and what might not work. But I bet there's more of what works and what doesn't. I also want to see if I can find a colored version of this crocodile story. I want to see what greens or browns he used for a crocodile. A sea crocodile. But no, Prince Valiant was a newspaper strip made by Hal Foster, and it's about kind of Prince Valiant, I guess he's the son of King Arthur. I haven't looked too deep into it. I read panels here and there. But it's pretty amazing artwork for the time. And, you know, hopefully in a future video, we look at how people like Frazetta were probably inspired by Hal Foster, at least in themes, because this was pre-Frazetta, and you see all these mythical elements. Like, there's one issue where he dons this, like, monster outfit that Jack Kirby most definitely took inspiration from to make his the demon character. And one of the best things about this book is it is affordable. I'm trying to get some trades of Prince Valiant, but I don't want to pay $30 for like 2007 prints. So I got this book I think for $2, or no, I think this was $4. It was $4, and I figured that was a good deal. I don't think I've ever run into books like these before. This was printed in '88 by Pioneer Comics, and it looks like they did a lot of like comic strips. Now, I don't know how many of these are, but I assume most of them are. And that's like a colored version. There were some colored strips, and I want to see if all of them eventually got colored, or if, like, you know, if it was a big story. I want to look at that alligator or crocodile one more time, because that thing is awesome. Also, like, studying this stuff to tell a short story with limited pages. That's always my bane. I always set off to do like a 3-page story, and it turns out to be like a 10-page story. I want to try to figure out that perfect, you know, because how many? 1, 2, 3, probably 4. I don't know. At least, you know, figure out how you tell a good, like, beginning to end. I also want to see if I can find some newspapers with this stuff in, see where the cutoff is. Because I'm sure, like, you know, this might be a day, this might be a day. If it ran every day, I wonder if this was like Sunday comics or it's once a week. I don't know. Be cool to see, though. I'm definitely, excuse me, going to be trying to find more of these to study. I don't like that print job, though, with that horse. And I think actually issue 7 of this has the same cover, but I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for these Prince Valiant reprints by Pioneer, especially if they're all going to be like $2 to $4 each. Alright, and probably, I know I said that was my favorite, but probably the one that hits closest to home, and I had no idea it existed, was this book called The Chronicles of Coram, The Knight of Swords, or Knight of the Swords, which, if you look at the cover, it's an early Mignola, like 986 cover, and, you know, the only reason I knew it was Mignola is because I saw them thighs. Like, Mignola draws his thighs so distinctly. Like, I stopped to look at this book because, A, I love First Comics. I feel like whenever you see that logo, you're in for a treat, or just something wild. And then, you know, I like fantasy art. You know, I just showed you Prince Valiant, so seeing this cool cover drew me in, and then seeing Mignola. So I thought he just did the cover, because Mignola's a cover-making machine. And, you know, then I flip it to the inside, and he does the pencils, and Rick Burchett does the inks. So, definitely gonna read this. You know, I read everything, but, you know, this goes to the top of the reading list, rather than kind of sits, you know? So, but yeah, and it ran for 12 issues, and I wonder if Mignola did all the pencils. He for sure did all the covers, because I can tell that the website I was using didn't list who penciled any of them, so I wonder about that. But it looks dope. I want to compare this to, like, I love comparing this style to, like, his Hellboy style, seeing how far he's, like, grown as an artist. What was that, Nexus? Yeah, Nexus. I have an issue of Nexus. I need to check it out. It looks dope. Mine gives me, like, Miracle Man vibes, which that might be blasphemous saying. I think it's just the outfit. Wow. Mignola on issue 28 and Rick Veitch on 29. What a lineup. Like, see, like, I feel like he reuses this, like, character model Mignola for, the antagonist in Wolves of St. Augustine. Like, tell me this guy doesn't rip open his, like, skin to reveal a wolf underneath. I'm like, look, there's Thor right there. If Mignola ever has to do a Thor comic, there's just Thor, you know? And maybe Bigfoot. I don't know. I need to read this. So bad I haven't read it yet. We're gonna call him Harry till I find out what his name is. But this is awesome. Like, I need to track down the other 12. This was the $2 book, which I'm sure that's not worth a whole. I don't buy books for worth, but I wonder how the rest are. If like the other 11 have such a low print run, because I'd never heard of this book. Now, granted, I feel like you don't hear a lot about early Mignola that much, but he has some great stuff. Like pre-Hellboy, you know, you get Triumph and Torment, which I just read, which is phenomenal. You have Jungle Adventures by Wolverine, which I need to check if that's pre-Hellboy. But he did a crap ton of stuff. What, maybe Cosmic Odyssey for DC? I need to check that. But like this, 86, it's pretty early. Look, here's another Mignola. I wonder if Mignola just penciled it and Mike Baron inked it. Or wouldn't it be crazy if Mignola colored it or something and Mike Baron penciled it? Definitely need to look into that. Try to find it. God, look at, I don't know. Like there's your chained coffin. Like grass right there when Hellboy is going to bring back the coffin. So it reminds me this book, The Sword of Cain, or is it The Sword of Cain or Cain and Abel? That I think it's a Marvel book, or maybe it's DC. I don't know. I think that was another reason I stopped to look, because I think I'm missing one in that issue in that miniseries. God, I wonder if he was like working on Thor or like just sketching Thor, and or had sketched Thor and he plug and played. Almost has like Mobius vibes with that helmet. You know, is it Azrak? I wonder if you looked at that for inspiration. Yeah, like you can't tell me that's not like an Azrak helmet. He didn't look at Azrak or something for this. Man. And I wonder who this like inspired. You know, if we're talking about like Hal Foster